So I just will get started with this. But before that, I just want to know, do you want this session to be boring or very interactive? I want you all to reply here, and meanwhile, I'll start sharing the screen. Yes, keep it going. Yes, we'll keep it very interacting one. Super. So let's begin. I want all of you to raise hand if at least once you have sucked in your tummy for the sake of photo. I have been there. I'm raising my hand. I have been there once. Like before, I have been there. I've been doing it multiple times because it see this tells that it's not a uncommon problem, right? And keep the hands raised if you have been blaming it for slow metabolism or genes, right? Have been there, right? So then let's all keep moving forward. What is the deadliest fat? The fat under your skin, the fat which you are able to pinch, or the fat which is inside your belly. So, what do you feel? What is the deadliest one? What is the most dangerous one? Yes, yes. Most of you are right. We'll get to learn more in coming slides. Yes, very nice. Keep it going. So then, which healthy food, so-called healthy food, which are branded with the FOP, the label with healthy, can secretly grow your belly fat? Is it the granola bars, fruit juice, low-fat yogurt, or all of the above? Yes, we all know it, right? It's everything that's labeled as healthy may not be healthy. So we should be very aware. We should be very mindful of what we think healthy or what we feel healthy. So, yes, we all have an origin story, right? Belly's origin story. So, like the freshman 15, like whenever somebody enters college, it is said that they will gain around 7 kgs of weight. So, we'll combine that. Many of us have a story, origin story, it's COVID, pandemic time. Some people say that's like I've been sitting it for long, the desk job. It's my tummy's origin. Some people say, yeah, I feel very hungry in the night, the late night snack attacks. And some says, no, I don't have belly fat at all. It's just bloating. So what, yes, many of us are there, everything. But I say, I would vote for B as well, right? Many of us can very much relate to it. Yes. Then, what is your belly's worst enemy? What is the worst enemy according to you? Please keep the answers going. What is it? Is it the sugar? Is it the craving, or is it the beer, or what is that sitting as absolutely? You got it right, Dhanashri. Yes, we all know a lot of things can be very bad for our belly, but the worst two things are sugar and stress. Absolutely right. So next, we'll come to the topic, right? Pot belly is silent time bomb that's ticking continuously in your belly. So what is it really telling you? It's not just fat, it's the health disaster waiting to explode. It can explode anytime. For some people, it might be very fast or very slow. It depends on different things we'll learn. So if we dissect our tummy and if we just enter the belly, what is it? It is not just the skin, fat under your skin, right? It can be the fat wrapping around your organs. So what are the different types of fats? If you can see in this image very clearly, the fat which is there just below your skin, it is a subcutaneous fat, or it is the most superficial fat. And visceral fat is a fat which is surrounding the different organs of your body. So we'll learn more about it. So if you look at this video, you can see it is a fat just below your skin and above your muscle layer. So this is called the subcutaneous fat. It is actually required for certain functions in our body, like thermoregulations and lot of other healthy things as well, for the nutrition absorption and lot of things like that. But the visceral fat is this. It is below the muscle layer and it can cover our organs like this. How does this look? Is this good? No, right? So this is how it can be. The more visceral fat can look like this, which not only is looking bad, but it has lot of health implications. How? It visceral fat is known to produce toxins like adipokines, which are the key factors in inflammation and lot of health disorders. Lot of health disorders. It can silently damage your liver, leading to insulin resistance and eventually type 2 diabetes. It also infiltrates organs and impair their function even without any symptoms, any obvious symptoms until it's too late. And the very fact, it's a very threatening fact is that 1 in 3 adults with a pot belly will develop type 2 diabetes. So, which has been the global crisis now. This silent killer belly fat is related to lot of diseases like first one being the heart attack. We may see many people having this heart attack. They are not obese, they are not fat, still they get heart attack. Why? Because the visceral fat, it directly contributes to the damage in the arteries, increased blood pressure, which is a major factor. And men with pot bellies have 3 times more risk of sudden cardiac death, not even with any prior symptoms. And the chronic inflammation, it causes a lot of metabolic dysfunction, and it actually significantly increase the risk of stroke, which is very sudden without any warning sign. And the direct link of this visceral fat is that it impairs insulin sensitivity. It is leading to high blood sugar and then onset of type 2 diabetes. It is one of the major global crises now. And it is very much rampant now that it is not even linked to age or anything else. Type 2 diabetes, even we are getting with smaller kids like 8 years, 10 years, 13 years. So that is the situation now. And it is also linked to conditions like cancer. Visceral fat produces certain hormones which can fuel certain cancers, including breast and colorectal cancers. And studies say that women with more than 35 inches of their belly have 80% higher risk for developing breast cancer. So that is the gravity of this visceral fat. We need not be very obese or fat. We can be slim. We need not drink, but still visceral fat has a very bad implication on liver. So non-alcoholic fatty liver disease has been on rise these days. We can see anybody and everybody having fatty liver. Over 1 in 3 adults are developing fatty liver, which actually, if progresses, can lead to permanent damage like fibrosis or cirrhosis, which is irreversible and can lead to a lot of things. So it's no longer a drinker's disease, but sugar, stress, and the gut issues are major culprits here. So we need to be very, very careful about the belly fat or pot belly. I don't want to bore you. Let us come back again for quiz. I want you to answer this for yourself. You can use your fingers if you don't have pen. Do you have frequent bloating? If yes or no, you can answer yourself, or you can type it on the chat. Do you have frequent bloating? Do you have constant fatigue? It is not related to anything. Suddenly you feel very tired. Do you have sugar cravings? And if you're female, if you're over, your waist is over 35 inch, and if you're male, if your waist is over 40 inch, yes or no? Is your poop irregular? One day constipation, the other day you are not feeling it's emptying properly. Do you have this issue? So count the S's. If you have answered at least 2 yes, then you might be under risk and you should really think about your health. That is one thing. Coming to the next, it's an interesting test. You can all do this right away or after this call. You take a string or any tape or any rope, anything of your height. It should be exactly of your height. Fold it to half. Wrap around your belly and see if the ends are touching each other. If it is touching each other, then you're safe. If you have any gap, then you might be under risk. You can share the gap of the 2 ends with the coach who invited you to this session. So, and discuss more about this, more about your health with them. So, I want to tell you all, despite all this, any symptoms or anything, we all are into the three zones actually. One is the unaware zone, unease zone, and then disease zone. Unaware zone is when you don't know what's happening inside your body, you don't have anything, you indulge and you do whatever you have. You might be having any genetic predisposition or not, you are just unaware and you carry on with all the things what you have been doing. And then comes the stage unease, where you will have very small symptoms like acidity or bloating, or okay, your poop is not right, like that. But what is that stage? But still you think that's common to have. See, I'm growing old. I think at this age it's common. Many of us think that it's just an unease phase, right? And then comes disease stage, where you will have to take some time, you will have to do something about it. It will show up as something that is bothering you, right? So these are the stages we all are into. So think about where you are. Why is this important? Because pot belly or belly fat is not the same, or it cannot be generalized. What is the root cause behind that belly fat is more important. Why? Let us see this picture. If you can see in the rightmost picture, the person, he's very lean, he's not very obese though, but he has a very prominent stiff pot belly, right? This can be due to metabolic cause of the liver, the impairment in liver. The second to that, the box shaped one, she also has a belly, but overall the fat distribution is across the body, and it is due to the thyroid imbalance. Okay, then comes the second from left. It's due to the ovarian hormone disruptions. She has a pear shaped body. The fat distribution is in the thighs, in her buttocks, and she has a low lying belly pouch. This is the hormonal belly or ovarian cause. And then the first from the left is the sagging belly, which is due to the stress or the adrenal belly. So many of us can have combination of anything. So identifying the root cause is very important when we are working on our health. What are the two steps in identifying? First one is the detailed lifestyle analysis. It cannot be just diet. It should be our entire lifestyle, as we all discussed, we all saw in Sharat's sharing also, right? There are a lot of factors. It's not only food, it's not only exercise. Lot of things which are there in our lifestyle should be captured. Our unique needs should be captured well. So this is all about the lifestyle analysis. And what's happening inside your body, the blood reports can show us. So a detailed strategic blood report will tell us what is the root cause and how to diffuse this bomb. So imagine, I'll give an analogy to you. We are in one shore and we want to go to another shore, and we have a boat and some people in it. If we are rowing in one direction towards that shore, we all can go. If somebody want to go that way and somebody want to go towards right, or somebody want to go towards left, will we be ever able to reach the another shore? It's not possible, right? Likewise, if you want to work on belly fat, or if you want to diffuse that bomb, we have to work on several things at a time. What are those things? We'll watch here. See, it's like a ticking bomb. We have different wires. So let us diffuse one by one. First, the yellow one. Okay. It's related to food. So the first thing to cut down on your belly fat is ditch sugar and refined carbs. They are really bad. So that doesn't mean you should stop. There is a very proper strategy involved as per your root cause to work on your diet part, because including good amount of fiber, good amount of proteins, good amount of healthy fats is also equally important to lose belly fat. And see, the research says cutting sugar can shrink belly fat three times faster than low fat diet. So think about it, follow a proper methodology to work on your diet. Next, workout. Move every day. You need not have a gym for that. You need not go to gym for that. Just 150 minutes of walking per week can actually reduce belly fat by 7%. But if you have certain causes like liver or thyroid issue, you also need some aerobic kind of workouts as well, proper strategic workouts as well. So it also very much depend on the root cause of your belly fat. Then sleep. Sleep like your life depends on it, because it does. Skipping 4 nights of good sleep can actually increase belly fat by 9%. So how important is your sleep? So even skipping one night's sleep can miss you out on a lot of hormones that is required for your health. So just focus on your health when you want to work on your health or your belly fat. Then comes stress, because I mentioned sugar and stress, they are the key things, key role, playing key role in belly fat or the pot belly. So as research says stressed women have 2 times more visceral fat. We just learned about visceral fat and how damaging they are, how threatening they are, how it is like a ticking time bomb inside your body. So work on your stress. This is very, very important. But for sustainable diffusion, see, once we diffuse and if you get the belly fat again, or if you indulge, or if you do one or the other thing again, it might come back. But for the sustainable way, what all is required? We discussed about 4 pillars already: food and nutrition. It's about good movement, sleep, and stress. But two more things are very, very important to have a sustainable uh, health or sustainable weight loss. What is that? One is a toxicity, because liver is the policeman in our body. A liver encounters lot of things. It takes lot of things from environment, from right from from the floor cleaner, the cosmetics what we use, the skincare products, and lot more. But the around 70 to 80% of toxins that we are having inside our body is through our kitchen. So having a very proper environment in our kitchen, the right kind of ingredients, right kind of cooking techniques, right kind of utensils is equally important, so that you will have a proper environment. Because we learned from Sharat's journey as well just now that health is not a destiny, it's a journey. It's not at all a destiny, it's a journey. We have to make this journey beautiful and endless. And the last pillar, you can see hand holding. Last pillar is a belongingness. We all know knowledge is not a thing today. Like, it's not a lacking thing for anyone today. ChatGPT gives a long list of diet as per your needs as well. But what is more required? The motivation, the constant nudge or the push from somebody, a care or the feeling of belongingness is something is required. So I would nudge you to get some accountability partner for your health goals. Work with a qualified coach or a right person for your health, and have that proper pillar of belongingness around you so that you can achieve your health goal. I want to showcase something. I want you to just watch this and have observe. It's not just about the belly fat that has been lost. I want you to look at certain things along with the belly fat here. People are losing their, it's not just the spot correction that's happening here. People are reversing lot of conditions. See, if you can see, thyroid is reversed, back pain, flexibility challenges, the skin, it's knee pain, the energy level, and the acidity and lot of gut issues, fatty liver. So lot of conditions. HbA1c is reversed here, right? And fatty liver is reversed, and you can see a very gross abdominal fat changes that you can observe here. See, the cholesterol is in control, right? The visceral fat that's been decreased here, and you can see how the waste in inches. Uric acid is controlled very well, right? Hypertension, visceral fat is also known to increase hypertension. So hypertension also gets corrected when you're working on your belly fat. See, the beautiful belly fat loss with no more hypertension. Hypertension reversed, increased energy levels. It's not just about the belly fat or the spot correction. See, it is a sustainable weight loss or sustainable health one can achieve with the right kind of root cause analysis and fixing the root cause with the right kind of approach. So it's very important for us to work with a very proper strategy to overcome all our health challenges. That's all I had to share for today. Thank you, all of you, for joining me to learn about the silent bomb. Don't just nod, act now. Act now towards diffusing in a sustainable way. That's all I had to share. Over to you, Ekta. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.